Hello, happy dog training tip Thursday. So I'm Heidi from Dogmanship Training, and this week's tip is about creating some clarity, because if you're not clear on what you're doing, it's very difficult for your dog to be clear on what you want them to do or what you want them not to do. So the very first step before you even lay hands on your dog to do any sort of training or any kind of process to teach your dog something, you first need to be really clear on what your outcome is. And what most people tell me is, I really want my dog to be well behaved, or I want them to have good manners, and generalized statements like that. And that looks different for everybody and every family. So some families that I see or talk to, one of their things that they would define as well behaved is, I don't want him to be jump up on the furniture and, run laps around the house crazy. Where another person's might be, I want him to sit on the couch quietly. So whatever your well-behaved is, you need to get really clear on it. When you have a goal, I want you then to make it much more specific and take that goal and turn it into a task that can be ticked off and completed. So, for example, just say your goal is, I don't want my dog to jump up on people. Now, the specific task that you're going to work towards and aim towards may be, I want my mum to be able to walk in the door, come to visit, and my dog go over and greet without jumping up. Okay, so that's taking your broad goal of, I don't want my dog to jump up, and made it something that you could go, okay, let's train for this and let's set this specific thing that I can tick off eventually. That doesn't mean that your goal of, I don't want my dog to jump up in general, isn't going to happen, but it just means that you can really measure your progress and also set a really clear, specific step-by-step path of how you're going to get there. So often when I see people for the first time, or they first enroll in the academy, one of the things is that they're not really being clear for their dog on what they want, and therefore they're bringing in all these different training methods and, really creating a lot of inconsistencies, and they're just confusing the hell out of their dog. And some of the methods that they may have been using may have worked if it was a really clear goal and they were taking that same pattern there. So the first step is to set those big goals, things that you're like, this is what it looks like to me to have a well-behaved dog, then break it down into tasks. Now, the next step I get people to do is then take that task and write down how it will make your life and your dog's life different, and how it will change the way that you guys feel. So that might be, for the example I was just using with the jumping up, if my dog can greet my mum when they walk in the door without jumping up, that means that I won't be embarrassed about my dog's behaviour. I won't have to put them outside and feel guilty about having my dog outside. And from my dog's perspective, they get to be in and be part of the family and greet the guests and be a part of the whole process without being banished to being outside because of the jumping up. Now, that's really important to not miss that last step of writing down that. And it might seem like, oh, yeah, I know why it's good. But on the days where you can't be bothered training, or it's raining, or you just sat down and then they've jumped up on somebody or whatever, it gives you that motivation to go, no, this will be worth it, and you can look back at it. So what I want you to do is write down your goals, then write down them into actionable tasks that you can actually, something you could tick off and go, did it, and then write down for each task how that will change your life and your dog's life for the better, so that you've got some motivation there to stick to. Now, once you've got those goals in place, it's a lot easier then to go, these are the steps I need to take, and stay on track to get to that goal. And so it's really important to stay on track. Now, I have a download of a sheet, a PDF that you can download to fill these out for yourself if you want to. You can get that at dogmanshiptraining.com/course. It's completely free. So if you want to be able to fill in these spots so that you know that you're setting really clear goals for you and for your dog. So that's this week's tip. If anybody has any questions or have a suggestion of something they'd like me to chat about, please feel free to let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you next Thursday. Thanks. Bye.